Hello, everybody. You could call me Hunch. If you know me, I usually do Sand, right, which is an altcoin, and Stacks coins updates, which Stacks is in layer 1.5, as they call it, smart contract platform for Bitcoin. But today I'm going to go over Bitcoin real quick and what I think is happening, right? If you know me in person or personally, or you know what I'm about, I'm sort of like a hybrid Bitcoin maximalist, right? I acknowledge that altcoins may have a place in the world, but I generally think that Bitcoin is the best route to take if you're an investor, from a philosophical standpoint, from a scaling point, from a security and decentralization point, right? The pinnacle that we should, or the prime example that we should reference when we're talking about decentralization, when we're talking about security, when we're talking about money, when we're talking about any aspect of cryptocurrency, I think you have to compare it to Bitcoin, right? Because if you are not Bitcoin, you are trading off something. So I'm going to give you an update on what I think is happening to Bitcoin and where I think it's going from here. Let's dive on in. Okay, so here's the chart for Bitcoin. As you could see, there is a ton of support right here, and we keep hitting it. So I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit for you, right? No, let's not add an alert. As you can see, we've touched and come back to this line of support, either as support or resistance, a ton, right? So whether it's support or resistance, we've kind of come back to this point a bunch, right? And then let's go over here, right? Over here, it was kind of like a resistance. It didn't really touch, right? But it's touching here again. It's touching here again. It's kind of stuck around this area. So what do I think is going to happen? I think it's possible that we just kind of bounce around here, right? Or I do think it's possible that we fall to what I think is the next level of support, right? So somewhere around here, right? You can see that it's touching in a lot of these places, right? Resistance, stuck here, resistance, right? Breaks through, right? So I do think it's possible that we fall back to around this $47,000 mark, right? And this is because, right? If I go here, I go to Twitter, right? I go to this trader, right? I follow all the smart people, right? And I could have done this analysis without him, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due, right? So this is a big time trader, right? He's got 514,000 followers, right? So people respect what he's doing. He kind of has the same analysis, and I just saw this, right? I'll bring it up for you. He's got the same analysis, right? It could stay, this is a crucial zone, right? This is the level of support, and then he says it could go back up, right? And then he's got all these marks, right? But he thinks this is going to happen, and I agree with him, right? He says the scenario is very simple. People expected a peak bull run in December, and what do we know? When everyone expects something to happen, it doesn't happen, right? Because you can't make money like that. All the people who have the wealth, or they call them whales, right, have almost got to trick retail or trick people into fooling them so they can make their money, right? Now, I'm not saying retail is dumb. I'm just saying traditionally retail hasn't had access or the education that Twitter has provided, YouTube has provided, or the network effects that it's provided, right? It's like a brain, and we're all connected to each other. And so then he says, let the market correct. People will expect a bear market, right? And then markets will moon and leave everyone behind. Super cycle. So I agree with him. But where does he think it's going to go with a super cycle? Well, if you study a bunch of other people like Raoul Pal, all these other crypto guys, right? They think the super cycle, right, is going to end somewhere up here, right? You can't even see it. It goes so high, right? It goes to like, it's going to go like that, right? Plan B says he wouldn't even be surprised if it hit the $500,000 mark, right? Do I think it's going to hit that? I think it's possible, right? If we are in a super cycle, the level of adoption is insane. If banks start taking it as collateral, right? So the fundamentals are there, right? The Lightning Network is growing at lightning speed. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing you my opinion, the fundamentals, the charts. It's all just information. You decide what you think, right? What do I personally think is going to happen? I think it's going to probably get to, 180, 200,000, somewhere around this level, right? And maybe we go back down, we sit, and then we drunk walk back up to 500,000 over the next 3 years. I think it's possible that within 6 months we go to 180,000, 200,000. Is that guaranteed? No, right? I'm taking my information from my own personal thoughts on the matter, and then also the people that I follow, right? You have to follow the smartest people, right? And kind of just develop your own game plan, right? I can't tell you where it's going to be. Nobody can tell you where it's going to be. If they tell you where they're going to be, they're completely nuts. But this is my Bitcoin update from Call Me Hunch. Remember, I'm just a guy with a doctorate level degree with 0 social skills, okay? So trust me when I'm talking to you. I've got 0 social skills, okay? Nobody wants to hang out with me. I'm a complete loser. Anyway, you could call me Hunch. I hope you liked the update. Let's go Bitcoin, baby.